What's up, Block fam, and welcome to today's reveal episode. So I asked you guys a while back if you wanted me to do like a reveal week and just reveal all the projects that I kind of have had behind closed doors, and you guys voted yes. And I was hoping you would vote yes because being able to reveal all these things makes it easier on me. Raptor. Yeah, it makes it easier on me because I don't have to like try and hide these things or move them around whenever we're filming to keep them a secret and keep them behind closed doors. The footage you guys are going to see in the beginning is dated and old footage because I've been keeping some of these projects a secret for up to 2 years. I think one of them is actually over 2 years old. Some of you guys have noticed a few of them. Most of you have not. We are basically bringing them into the spotlight, putting them front and center to let you guys know what we have coming up for content in 2022. Some of the footage is dated. An example, for one of the reveals, I'm driving the Tacoma, but I don't have the Tacoma anymore. I sold it. Keep that in mind as you guys are watching through a lot of this content. Some of the footage, pretty dated. All right, hope you guys enjoy the reveal.
What's up, Blockheads? Welcome to the truck. Untraditional view for you guys. So I'm on the way to the bank, and in this episode, we're probably making bad decisions. Is it gonna be a bad decision? I don't know. It's like one of those things. It's like I don't have that hindsight yet. It could be a bad decision, but I am in very uncharted territory here. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm being super vague because I don't want to like ruin the surprise, but we're gonna take you guys along for the ride. I like to approach things and like big financial decisions usually from a place of understanding and having like researched the hell out of the topic, and I've definitely researched the hell out of, you know, what I'm about to do. However, there is still some uncertainty. Whenever it comes to motorcycles, I'm confident in this area, but whenever it comes to what I'm doing this time around, I'm not quite as confident. And that confidence comes from experience, which I don't have really much of at all. I know you guys are probably just thinking at this point, like, spit it out already. So we'll do like a quick edit, you know, me doing the next couple steps, and we'll go from there. Stop number one made. Stop number two. All right, second stop is made and on the way back. You think I'm making a stupid decision?
We'll find out.
That's a good answer.
I think it seems like a pretty good idea, but yeah, you never know.
We'll see. What you guys think? Stupid idea? Yeah. Alright guys, there we have it. And gotta go get some gas. Filling her up for the first time. There she is though. All right, Wes, what'd you think in your little test drive around the neighborhood?
It was cool. I wish I could get in there and open it up, but definitely don't want to in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That'll turn some heads.
This is a 1978 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, and it's definitely going to be a labor of love. It needs work. While it might look in pretty good shape and condition to you guys, I'm going to kind of go through and we're going to talk to you guys about this. But this is a pretty cool project that, I mean, I've always wanted a classic car since I was a kid. You know, this is it's a 1978. I don't know how many of you guys out there, there's probably a number of y'all out there that have watched the Smokey and the Bandit, right? So the Smokey and the Bandit Pontiac Trans Am Firebird was a 1977. This is 1 year newer, and the only differences between the two, from what I've read, it's very, very minimal differences, but they redesigned some of like the plastic in the grill, but pretty much it looks like the Smokey and the Bandit car. It's like one of those, you guys know I've always wanted like a classic car, a muscle car. Whenever I was doing those videos with past and present motor cars, y'all know that I was kind of really drawn to like the older Trans Am, like this body style, and what was it, like the older Camaro like that. But I think it was pretty much between like the 76 through the 79, 80 year Trans Ams. Just, I don't know what it is. It just catches my eye. I really love the body style, like the lines of the car. It just looks classic. We're gonna start it up, obviously, as I'm leaving, and I'll let you guys hear it. For now, we're gonna mind the piece. This bird keeps getting closer and closer, man. Saw, dude. I'm gonna walk you guys through this car, what kind of engine we have, how the interior looks, in terms of what we need to kind of focus on. And the really cool thing, why this is going to be a very big deal to me, is because for those of you that do know, that follow the channel pretty closely, you know that I talk about my grandpa every now and then, and a lot of the kind of sayings that he has. You are getting real close. He's just got a lot of really good sayings that have stuck with me like over the years. I've got a tattoo, which is because of my grandpa. He tells me, smell the roses, which, I mean, everybody knows what smell the roses means. It means to kind of stop and reflect and like realize kind of where you are and what you have to be thankful for. I talked about it during the Thanksgiving video. I've said it years before. Like I've mentioned him on and off. Anyways, my grandpa, he's a retired mechanic, and he used to build hot rods back in the day. And so I was going through kind of my head, like after I had bought the car, and I was thinking like, who do I know that works on cars? And ding, light bulb, my grandpa. So I called him up, I sent him pictures of it, and I said, hey, look at what I picked up. It's a project, it needs some work. And he was hella excited about it. He said, all right, like, good job, really just super excited. And he asked, he's like, when you looking to get to work on it? I said, as soon as you want. And so he's like, all right, I'll be up there in early January. We've basically been going back and forth. I've sent him pictures, some information about what's done. But to me, that's a really cool experience, because it's like, this is something that, I mean, I've always shared that enthusiasm and that passion with my grandpa of cars, but I've never actually had the opportunity to work on a car with him. And this is going to be one of those, like, it needs to be worked on. It needs restoration, because like at this angle, you know, in a wide angle lens, it might look like it's all put together, but let's get into some of the finer details and I'll show you guys, like, it needs some work. Let me give you guys the information on this car. Like I said, it's a 1978 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Now, it is an actual Trans Am, which means they had a couple different engines that came out with this car, but this one in particular came with the 6.6 liter or the 400 cubic inch V8 from Pontiac. I'll go ahead and pop the hood, show you guys. You guys hear that? That means there's a little rust. You can kind of hear it. Anyway, so this is a monster. So we've got the 400 or the 6.6 liter Pontiac V8. Now, whenever I hit up the guy that owned this, it's basically been a project, like a recurring project for multiple people. So whenever he owned it, he never like had it registered or drove it around or anything. The guy that owned it before him, he's the one that basically like had the engine in here, like went through, did all the components for the engine. It wasn't even bolted to frame. So the last guy basically got the engine all together, bolted it to frame. He got it drivable, but then he didn't have any more time. He had other projects that he wanted to put his efforts towards, so he was getting rid of this one. So hit him up, we haggled a deal, now it's mine. With the engine, just looking at it from here, from what I can see, we've got some Edelbrock performance heads, and I've looked these up online. There's like a model number on there. Very, very decent heads. Edelbrock is a very respectable name. We've also got Edelbrock manifold under there, under the shaker, which you can see. We've got, as you saw in the B-roll as well, we've got hooker headers, pretty well-known name in the industry. And then we've got a fully stainless 2-to-2 header back exhaust, which, I mean, you guys can see here.
Then we've got a Holley Performance 4-barrel carburetor on it as well, which does need to be tuned. There's definitely some kind of cam in this engine. Definitely doesn't run like it's stock. It's very lumpy, which you guys will hear here in just a minute. The air conditioner is missing, as y'all can see. So there's a big old gap in this side of the engine bay, which is where the air conditioner goes, because these cars came with air conditioners back in the day. Yeah, there's a couple other little, you know, bits and pieces that we could tidy up, but for the most part, she's got good bones. I honestly didn't care what engine it had in it whenever I was buying it, because I was thinking like, dude, we'll just, you know, buy a used LS off of eBay or whatever and do an LS swap on it. But the engine that it has some potential, so we'll probably keep that one and work around it, which saves us some steps. You know, maybe we'll pull it out, clean it up. There's definitely some stuff that needs to be maintained to it, but that's kind of our starting platform, and it is a hell of a starting platform. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this. It's really cool. I love how the shaker sticks through the hood, and that basically moves whenever you rev it out. The paint job, it needs new paint. Cracks like all through here, here, here. The guy that, not the guy that owned it before me, but before him, he basically had the paint job done and he put it under a tarp or a car cover, and then just left it outside under a car cover, which isn't good in the state of Florida. It bubbled up, so you've got lots of bubbles here on the hood. There's some fading in the front. You've got a lot of bubbles here, like on the roof, all across. We definitely are gonna need to get all of that taken care of, which means new paint job, which is totally fine because we want to make this thing, you know, the Bandit. I want to put the Screaming Chicken on the hood because it's a Trans Am. Obviously it belongs there. The wheels are not stock. They're not the original ones. I do love the look of them, you know, being 5-spoke. I'm a real big fan of 5-spoke, but the original wheels that normally come with it, he actually had them, so he gave them to me. They need to be cleaned up. They need to be repainted or re-anodized or whatever, however they came. I do have them. The tires on here are brand new, but they're brand new old tires, so they've got some dry rot in them. On the outside it doesn't really look like it, but whenever you get into the treads, there's definitely some dry rot. It handles great, handles really well. The alignment's really nice. It rides real smooth. The transmission though is something that we're going to have to pay attention to. It's a 3-speed automatic, which I'm not the biggest fan of. In a muscle car like this, I would want to be able to shift and choose my gear, so that's going to mean we're going to probably have to change it over to a manual, but that's going to be a job later down the road. I just want to get it up and running. It is just about sunset and this thing doesn't have lights that work, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna start it up. For the time being, I'm putting it in storage, but we are gonna be bringing it to my garage. We're gonna be working on it, and this is all while working on motorcycles, guys. I'm not being pulled away from motorcycles. This is going to be, you know, we're gonna be doing both. My heart's definitely in motorcycles. My heart is in motorsports, and I'll share with you guys a little story after we're kind of done talking about all of this. Listen to that. Yeah, guys, she sounds good. She does need to be tuned though, because whenever you blip the throttle, there's a dip, and it's just enough of a dip to kill it sometimes. So you gotta be careful. It's also getting colder out. We all know carbs don't run so well when they're colder. Anyway, she sounds good. So nice. It's definitely a selling point. Doors close well. Both sides. So like I said, we've got a 3-speed, got the brake on. That's got to be fixed. Like I said, no air conditioning. The lights, they don't work. It's got an all brand new wiring harness, but the way the lights are, for some reason it's having trouble grabbing to the switch on the back. Wipers don't work. RPMs do work. I don't know if the clock does or not. Oil pressure does work. The water temp does work. RPMs do not. Fuel gauge does work, and the voltmeter works. And then these are, once again, air conditioning and old school lighter. Missing the radio, missing like CB or whatever else goes down here. We got a B&M shifter, missing all this. But like I said, the wiring harness is all brand new, but the wiring harness for the passenger door is missing. No idea why or where that went. This is goes right here, and these are the switches for the windows to make them go up and down. So we currently have the wiring for this window, and in order to make it go up and down, you have to touch the wires together. So blue to red, the window goes up, brown to red, the window goes down. I'm gonna leave it down for now. All right, let's go. It's getting sunset, so they're gonna be closing the park. For shifting, you gotta pull this piece up. And RPMs dip down a little bit, and we out. So anyways, it's got its fair share of stuff that needs to be looked at. The interior, it's actually pretty good. I think the carpet's new. The guy said that the weather stripping is new, so I was able to wash the car and it didn't leak. The shaker is functional, so it does intake air, which is nice. But man, it drives nice. Like it feels smooth. The brakes are a little mushy, so probably bleed those, like check them out. Although he did say that he did the brakes. But the guy that I bought it from, he seemed very knowledgeable. He did a good amount of work to it. Thanks, man. So funny, that guy gave me a thumbs up. I get compliments so much on this car, and I've only had it out like 3 times maybe. I've probably got like 6 or 7 people that come up and talk to me. Before this, I had to tell a guy, I was like, oh man, like I'm trying to the lady just said, nice car. Dude, people just love the classics, man. I'm really glad that people are taking well to it. I hope you guys do too. I feel like it's got good bones. It needs a bit of work done to it, but she runs well. The speedo doesn't work, so definitely got to get that looked at. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be going through this thing with a fine-tooth comb with my grandpa, and we'll let you guys know like kind of everything that we're thinking that it needs. But I hope y'all are excited for this. I feel like I've said that a lot. It's going to be an awesome new project. Just look at that view, man. I love it. Love that view. Anyways, hey, if you guys are stoked, be sure to do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. Helps out the channel quite a bit. If you guys have any questions, ooh, there we go. Another classic. If you guys have any questions, be sure to drop them down in the comments below and I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. You guys want to see more content like this? You're looking forward to it? Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Hit that bell icon so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Until next time, you guys ride safe out there, stay vigilant, and catch you guys on the next one. I guess I should say drive safe, stay vigilant. All right, peace.